Dude, how long you financing for?
Life.
Financing for life, y'all. Listen.
You were paying $1,400 a month for a Toyota Highlander?
My car payment is due in 4 days, y'all. I have only $2 on my Chase account, y'all.
What's up, you bums? Today we're going to take a look at some of the world's craziest auto loan, car payment, car delinquency, car dealership stuff on the internet. Now, I am not immune to this because I at one point had $6,000 a month of car payments. I was stupid, and I can also resonate with both sides of the equilibrium. The ones that have the car payments that are currently dealing with it, and the ones that have no car payments and are living debt-free and enjoying life. Let's get into our first video.
What's your car payment and what do you drive?
$2,600 a month, and I drive my high country Silverado when I'm not driving my M4.
What's your car payment and what do you drive?
My car payment is $835 and I drive a 2023 Corvette.
What's your car payment and what do you drive?
$400 and I drive a 2015 GMC Sierra.
What's your car payment and what do you drive?
I drive a Trailblazer Active and I pay $408 a month.
What's your car payment and what do you drive?
I have a 2024 Silverado and my payments are $699 a month.
What's your car payment and what do you drive?
My car payment is $0 a month and I drive a hand-me-down 06 Mercury. What's your car payment and what do you drive?
Straight cash, homie. I drive a 2024 Carmax.
I like the straight cash homie one at the end there. My truck is actually $2,000 a month right now, the truck that I drive. It's a 2024 Ford F-150 Raptor. I love it. I'm in a financial position to be able to afford it. All of my car payments and auto loans together are less than 15% of my gross annual income. But unless you're like a finance manager, or maybe you are just the best at your job in the whole world and you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, it's just not financially responsible. And even if you do make that kind of money, as soon as you lose your one source of income, which is something that a lot of people won't talk about, it's not just about how much money you make in one position or with one income stream, but how it's diversified to reduce risk in case that income stream goes offline. God forbid you lose your job and that car gets repoed or you have to give it back to the bank at a loss. Great deal for the same price. You could drive a couple-year-old Lamborghini. I don't know about a couple years old. I mean, you're talking about the Huracans and, you know, the Aventadors is the latest generation of Lamborghini. Maybe an Urus.
So about 5 months ago, I got rid of my $70,000 truck and I bought me a cash $6,000 vehicle. I went from a 2023 Chevy Silverado RST to a 2012 Honda Accord. Now, when people hear this or they see me, they're like, oh man, you can't afford your truck no more. Hey, call it whatever you want to call it, baby. I got tired of paying a note, and if financially it didn't make sense, if I'm not where I want to be in life, I put my pride to the side and said, no, I'm going back to a paid off vehicle. So for the last 5 months, I've been feeling amazing because I haven't been wasting $1,200. So that same $1,200 get invested into the market.
So here's something that a lot of other financial gurus and content creators on the internet won't tell you. As a man, as a guy, especially if you're in your 20s and even 30s, society will judge you more harshly than women if you're driving a nice vehicle or if you're not driving a nice vehicle. And especially as a guy that maybe wants to find a wife or wants to look good in his social circle amongst other men so that he has more opportunities in the future. It's actually more of a pull for men than I think it is for women. Not that it isn't a pull for women. I know a lot of women that are driving Benzes and BMWs and are broke as a joke. To have the humbleness to understand that maybe it's not the best decision to have this kind of vehicle or to drive around in this car when I'm not in a position financially to be able to do that. I commend this content creator because this is something I wish I knew when I was 22, when I first started making a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. What's one of the very first things that I purchased? I bought a brand new BMW M3 Competition, and it was a great car. It actually ended up being a lemon, so I got a lot of money back for that. Props to this guy for recognizing that and for being able to put his ego down and get into a $6,000 vehicle. I totaled my 2022 Kia. Insurance paid it off and left me with $14,000. And so I bought a 2019 Chevy for $7,000. And I have a 3% mortgage in a nice neighborhood. Nothing but God leading me. And that's another thing as well. I would much rather have a 3% mortgage than a car loan that has, a 2 or 3% interest rate. And that Honda Accord gonna last longer. If you're talking about a 20-year-old car, I mean, look, Toyotas and Hondas, they have an excellent reputation and it is absolutely warranted. However, I don't think modern cars, generally speaking, are so unreliable that they're not going to outlast a 20-year-old car. I feel like that's a little too far. But if you're talking a 10, 12, 13-year-old car, Honda, Toyota, absolutely, those cars are going to last longer than some of the newer ones that are made today. Especially if you're talking about anything made by Stellantis Automotive, like Jeeps, Dodge, Ram, and Chrysler.
Hey, Yusuf, how are you?
I'm doing good. I got your message about our 2024 Mercedes GLB.
Yes,
So-
I'm really interested in that car.
All right,
We can
so
make this quick.
that's all good. So on your profile, we have a 693 credit score. What?
Yeah. I bought this 2020 Toyota Highlander. It has like the highest trim level and everything. And I'm really just trying to trade that in. I was able to go ahead and just pay it off, $1,400, which was, I know, crazy. But
Whoa. What? You were paying
know.
$1,400 a month for a Toyota Highlander?
Look, this is what I'm trying to trade in right now. Paid it off. It was only 18% interest on it. So yeah, I finished paying the car, and I also am looking into your 2024 Mercedes. I know I got screwed with the price for the Toyota Highlander and everything, but I'm just trying to do a lot better this time around, and that's why I'm coming to you. Honestly, you can do.
All right, so how many miles are on your Toyota Highlander?
So it's 196,000.
To make sure we play that back, you say you had 18% interest on that Toyota Highlander?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to add salt on the wounds. I just want to calculate something 1 second. And you bought it for how much?
It was a crazy amount. I'm gonna pay for it real quick.
Okay.
Paid around 54,000.
Dollars?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
it's terrible.
You just now paid it off?
Yeah,
72 months for the term?
yeah, it was 17 months.
I've roasted friends in real life that have car loans that are 5 or 6% less than that. My buddy, he recently bought a Mercedes, an AMG, a blacked out coupe, looks awesome, super sexy. I'm like, hey dude, what interest rate did you get? He's like, 12%. I'm like, I roasted that guy for 30 minutes straight. I can't imagine taking a loan for 18%. That is just highway robbery. That's almost reaching credit card numbers. On top of that, 196,000 miles. Holy crap. This car, the Toyota Highlander, was actually my first brand new car. I bought a 2021 Toyota Highlander back in the day as my first brand new car, and it was the top trim level. It was the Platinum all-wheel drive. It was an excellent car, same rough price, about $56,000. Now I had a really good down payment. I had an excellent credit score, a good history, and I knew somebody that worked at the dealership, and they were able to give me a discount. And so my monthly payment was around $750 a month. Did she say only 18% with like 6 laughing emojis? That was my reaction too.
I would absolutely never buy a car from Carmax. I mean, look at this. A 2024 Tacoma, 43 grand. It already has 7,000 miles. I mean, this thing is a base model. The cloth seats, everything. The one good thing though about Carmax is if you can't get credit anywhere, they're usually really good at getting you an auto loan. But at the end of the day, that's not necessarily good, right? Because you're gonna have a super high interest rate. Like, look, they're advertising, look at that. Challenge credit 22, fair 17. Very good credit. You're still looking at a 9% interest rate. You can get a 5% interest rate easy from a credit union right now. And then also, this is basically what this thing actually probably costs like 42 grand. So this is probably 1,000 more than it even costs brand new for, this. It is in fairly decent shape because, again, it only has about 7,000 miles on it. But the way Carmax does its business, though, letting you walk the lot all by yourself, not harassing you to look at different cars and trucks, and just giving you the freedom to go around the lot and choose your own car, and the no pressure sales tax, I get why people buy the cars from them. I just never would because you're paying such a premium for that. But I do get why people buy from Carmax, though.
In 2025, people hate buying cars from dealerships so much that they're willing to pay thousands of dollars more for a used car than the exact same car, brand new, just to avoid dealing with the high pressure sales tactics that these dealerships have. When I purchased my last Toyota. The salesperson walked over and put a piece of paper in front of me and made me write out 2 sentences that said, my name, will purchase this vehicle if I get a, whatever it was, I think it was like a $3,000 discount off of MSRP. And then he made me sign my name, and he said that's the only way that they can get this deal done. I get why people use Carmax. Now for this particular instance, 43 grand for a used truck with 7,000 miles, I get it's a Toyota, but you'd catch me dead paying more for a used car than the same price of that vehicle brand new. I don't know why some people will do that. Leave in the comments below, do you prefer leather seats or do you like cloth? I don't know, maybe I'm weird, but I actually like cloth seats more than leather seats. Granted, I'm in Florida, it's really hot, it sucks, but I don't know, something about cloth seats gives me nostalgia and brings me back, you know what I mean?
Low key, my car payment is due in 4 days, y'all. I have only $2 on my Chase account, y'all. And it's the 15th. My car payment is due on the 19th of every month. And I don't get paid until next week. So it's like, how am I going to even I don't know, y'all. And I don't want to use the GoFundMe money until I get enough to be able to put a chunk of money towards my principal. So I'm just going to leave it up there in my bio. And I just seen some of you guys, oh, she just keeps making dumb decisions after dumb decisions, y'all. I live in Port St. Lucie, Florida. If you know what Port St. Lucie, Florida is, it's like a retirement place where old people come to retire. If I rent my car on Turo, it's most likely not going to get rented out.
So this creator has $2 in her checking account and her car payment's due in 4 days. With the first month of her owning the car, I don't understand how you don't see the future 30 days in advance when you buy a brand new vehicle, or maybe it's not even brand new, maybe it's a little bit used. Less than 1 month later, you suddenly have $2 in your bank account and you can't afford the payment? The lack of financial literacy is astonishing. She said she had a GoFundMe in the link of her TikTok. If a dude were to create the same TikTok video
and said, I have $2 in my checking account and I can't afford my new truck,
everybody in the comment section would roast this guy. I would say it's a little bit easier for women to get out of the situations that they put themselves in, especially considering they can maybe have a man help them out or something. With guys, nobody's coming to save us. You know, if we put ourselves in terrible financial situations, it's on us and nobody else.
Hello, Jose. I just want to see if you guys have a car available.
Stock number?
I would give you the stock number, but I warn you, it's like 16 digits. It's super long.
That's the VIN. What's the car?
It is a Mazda CX-50 Premium Plus Hybrid. I do agree that is the VIN, but it also repeats as the stock number.
Hold on a second.
You didn't have to correct me like that. I see it. It's clearly the VIN, and just so you guys can see as well.
You tell me if that's it, okay? 129968.
Negative.
Okay. Yeah, that's the only one we have.
Okay. So the 147990 is just a ghost, not real.
It's sold.
Oh, it's sold?
Yeah, it's sold.
You sure it's not maybe in transit?
I'm not on the website. Check for you.
Sure, that'd be great.
Yeah, but if it's in transit, we don't have a confirmation date because of tariffs. And it's a 25?
I think it's a 26.
Oh, we definitely don't have the 26. You won't see those till January.
So Mazda allocated them to you 3 months early? It's on your website.
Okay, so yeah. Let me check for you. Hold on a second.
Small little lies, I think, are really a big thing that people don't like, right? Without even doing the research of finding where this car is, what I'm looking for, what I'm looking for to see if maybe there's another one available. He immediately went and said, sorry, that one's sold. Have a nice life, right? I know it's not sold. It's on their website. It says in transit. There's no way it's sold in transit. But he just lied to get rid of me, I guess.
Prime example of why people don't like dealing with car dealers. Most people, when they go and buy a car, don't do enough research, don't know how the car buying process works on the back end, don't stick up for themselves. They don't have the ability to be assertive and say, no, I'm not paying $1,000 extra for nitrogen in my tires. Not only are they unfriendly, not only are they rude, but the information that's listed on their website doesn't actually match with their inventory on the lot. When you call and you ask for an out-the-door price, meaning the money that you actually need to give the dealership to drive the car off the lot, it ends up being thousands of dollars more because there's a bunch of dealer add-ons, there's hidden fees and things that they don't tell you about on the website, but they'll put that number on the website to make sure that you're interested, waste your time, get on the phone call or go into the dealership, and all of a sudden it's nowhere near as amazing of a deal as it was listed. Salespeople don't want to waste their time on phone calls. As a former salesperson, Lazy salespeople don't want to deal with phone calls. Yeah, I also don't understand that. Like in a competitive marketplace, you'd think that if a certain percentage of your customers are calling you on the phone, that you'd want to optimize that buying experience as much as possible. Or even if it's not a complete full customer journey buying experience, you're setting the example for how the customer should view your dealership and your business by speaking to them rude and crass on the phone. And it's the reason why creators like this have a business where you can pay $1,000 and have the car buying process automated for you.
Let's see how much you need to make to comfortably and uncomfortably afford a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500. And as always, if you want me to do your car next, make sure to follow the account and leave a comment below. So this 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 came out to be around $46,000, but when you multiply this by 7% sales tax, you get a brand new total of around $50,000. And after you take the final cost of the vehicle, add 20% down, finance at 5% for a total of 60 months, you're left with a total monthly payment of around $758 a month. The estimated annual maintenance cost on the GMC Sierra 1500 is going to be anywhere between $727 all the way to $1,000 a year, or around $60 a month if you were to budget this out. And the estimated annual insurance cost on the GMC Sierra 1500 is going to start at around $2,400 a year, or around $207 a month, but keep in mind that insurance is going to vary for everyone. And after you add all this up, you're left with a total monthly payment of around $1,026 a month. And if you were to multiply this by 10%, you'll find your monthly gross income, then multiply this by 12 to find your annual gross income. And you roughly should be making around $123,000 a year to be able to very comfortably afford a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500.
And again, this is where my advice differs a little bit from the rest of the internet. I actually think that it's fine if you want to go anywhere from 12 to 16% of your monthly gross income spent on vehicles and transportation. The reason I say that is because there's a lot of benefits to owning a new vehicle or a newer vehicle than people will lead on. For example, you don't have to worry about your car breaking down, which is exceptionally important if you have a family or if you have kids or you have people that you're transporting back and forth, or even yourself if you don't know anything about cars and you don't want to have to deal with tow companies and repair shops and all that. Maybe it is worth a little bit more money to make sure that you have a higher chance at reliability, or maybe even the vehicle coming with a warranty. Another thing as well for guys, if you want to get into the dating world, you want to meet a woman, or maybe you want to become more successful in your job, look, perception matters. And that doesn't mean that you need to go buy something crazy expensive, but there's going to be a difference between how people view you when you're driving a $6,000 hoopty or a $20,000 or $30,000 car. And again, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. That being said, the vast majority of people that are buying these brand new trucks are not making 120 grand. And even if it was a little bit less, say 100 grand, no, I'm most of the guys that I know in real life that are driving these trucks, they're doing construction, they're maybe a firefighter, they're in the medical field, they're in engineering or something. They're making like 70, 80 grand and they're driving a $40,000 truck. So that's a little bit extreme in my opinion.
All right, yo, so my client Robbie just cashed out on the 2022 Hyundai Elantra. Robbie, how much you put down today?
$10,000.
$10,000. What's your monthly payment?
$862.
$862. How long you financing for?
Life.
Financing for life, y'all. Listen, if you guys are in the market for any Elantra or Sonata, make sure you guys hit my DM.
Get with my boy.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
How do you put 10 grand down on a Hyundai and you're still paying $900 a month? That's not even counting insurance, gas, or maintenance. That's just the car note. This woman is quite literally going to be paying $1,200 plus per month for a base level Elantra after putting 10 grand down. And if she's living in a place like Florida, like I do, where insurance is through the roof because of all the illegals, then you're gonna be paying even more than that. A car with one person on a policy with good ratings and a good driving record in Florida is like $500-600 a month. So that's more like $1,400 a month for her. The day I pay almost $900 a month for a Hyundai is the day I start taking the bus. Yeah, it's a Korean piece of crap. Hyundai is actually known for being one of the most unreliable foreign car brands, and on top of that, they will fight you tooth and nail in the legal system to make sure they don't pay you a dime if something goes wrong with their car. Y'all robbed her, and that is not okay. No Kia or Hyundai is worth 10 grand. I mean, some of the N-line ones are kind of cool, I have to admit. Generally speaking, I would not buy a car like this brand new. It's the exact same thing as a Toyota or a Honda, and with a Toyota or a Honda, even if you do want to buy it brand new, those are going to hold their value so much more, much better dealer service and dealer care.
I tell everybody not to get no car note, but realistically, if you don't have no transportation and you need a vehicle, get that fucking car note. car notes range from damn near $200 to $500. My car note is $300, damn near $400 basically. I make over $400 within one check. But when y'all add insurance on that shit, I'm a young driver. So they try to charge me $500 to $1,000 depending on which company I go to. I mean, it's $600 really, but $600 to $1,000 depending on what company I go to. So that's why I tell people, like, really think about getting a car note, because on top of a car note, you're going to be paying insurance. Insurance plus a car note plus your bills if you're paying rent. I don't pay rent. I live in my mother's state. So, yeah, I can have that as a bill right now. But if I had a $15,000 rent plus my bills plus that car note plus that insurance, that'd be a little overwhelming. And I still like to travel. Like, I'm finna go to Houston this month. So it's just like, that's a big-ass bill when you really think about it. So that's why I tell people not to get a car note. So if you got the money to buy a fucking vehicle, buy that fucking vehicle. I don't give a fuck how many miles you got on that fucking car or it got on that car. You gonna put some more on it.
So I think she meant $1,500 rent, not $15,000 rent. Most people don't factor in the true cost of ownership on things like vehicles. Houses too, and there's other big ticket items that people will have. It's not just the car payment. If you're a young driver, if you're a young male driver, even if you have a good record, or let's actually assume you don't have a good record. You're a young male driver with a bad record. You are going to be paying $1,000 a month in car insurance for a $15,000 or $20,000 vehicle. Is it messed up? Yes, but guess what? It's government mandated. It's government mandated bullshit that you have to go through and you have to factor into your true cost. So it's the car note, it's the insurance, it's the gas, it's the maintenance and repairs, and I'll also say add a little bit of extra to that just in case something major happens. That being said, I do disagree with what Dave Ramsey would say here. He says that under no circumstances should you have a car payment. In order to get places like a job, you need transportation. Buses are not viable everywhere. Trains are not viable everywhere. And unless you live in a place like New York, Los Angeles, Miami, or Chicago, you're going to need a car to get to your job. So get a small car note if you absolutely have to, because that's going to allow you to get a job so that you can pay off the car and also have additional money saved up in the future. Other solution that nobody wants to talk about is trying to get a work from home job, because imagine not having an hour or two of commute every day and that mental tax on your mind from sitting in traffic, getting dressed for work, getting undressed from work, wasting those hours in the day, working from the comfort of your own home. And when you have to take a shit, you don't have to go and deal with one-ply toilet paper. You get to go to your own bathroom and you get to have peace. And that's worth a lot. Not just on the bank account of not paying gas, not paying a car payment, not paying insurance, maintenance and repairs, but you also get to deal with that peace of mind. I'd take a $70,000 a year remote job versus a $90,000 a year in-office commute job. I only got a car note because I literally got tired of buying cash cars and people lying about them not having problems. Cash cars are essentially more money than a car note, especially if it has a warranty and you only have to do basic maintenance on it. Car note is definitely better, in my opinion, if you can afford it monthly. No, literally, the whole just get a $5,000 Honda or Toyota is dated advice. It doesn't work like that anymore. When I was 18, I bought a Lemon. I'm scared to get another cash car again. I actually have the exact same experience. My BMW, my brand new BMW, was a Lemon. I got a big fat check for 45 grand a couple months ago because it was a Lemon and the manufacturer was forced to buy my car back. If a brand new car is getting Lemoned, you have to imagine a lot of these used cars, especially if you're buying it from a private seller or from a used car dealership where it's not certified by the manufacturer, there's going to be issues that they don't tell you about because they want to sell the car. I don't trust people, and I actually value spending a couple $100s more per month to make sure that my car runs smoothly, to make sure that I'm not dealing with any major mechanical issues that could cause death on the road to me or other people that I care about. I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of extra money to make sure that that's the case. Now that's everything we have for today's video. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed spending it with me here today. If you did, please drop a like rating here on this video. It does help the YouTube almighty algorithm know that these videos are awesome and show them to more people, which allows me to then create more of them for you guys. Until next time, Best of luck and take care.